Welcome back to another episode of Jurassic Thoughts podcast. I'll be honest, it's me and Dan have both been equally dreading this one, and at the same time a little bit excited to talk broad strokes and to really just go into the sort of feels like time of death on the 2025-2026 Toronto Raptors. But before we get into ball talk, Dan, how's it going, buddy? How are you?
Not that my mood is always in correlative with the Raptors' highs and lows of the season, but after watching last night, Sam, it could be a lot better.
Yeah. So we had just an unreal Toronto sports day yesterday where the Jays lost a series to the horrendous Colorado Rockies, and then a couple hours later, the Sacramento Kings rolled into town and also beat the Raptors. So just an all-time bad day. You were at the game on Monday, right?
That's right.
For Jays, I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
How was that?
I mean, we got spanked. Hindsight's 2020, so the managerial moves, putting Heineman into pitch in the ninth, was obviously... I mean, looking back, you don't want to burn pitchers. It's the first game of the series. I understand all these things. It could have been a competitive. We have an offense that can always come back and claw back from large deficits. So maybe knowing what we would have done in the ninth, he probably would put in a legitimate pitcher and hopefully put a scoreless bout down. But it was good. Still, second series against the Rockies, still almost like a sold out barn. It was fantastic, man. Even when we were losing, a lot of people did leave, but a lot of people stuck around just because anything can happen in the ninth. And it's just a fun environment. And the new additions to the Rogers Center with all the renovations, it's fantastic. It's such a good sporting atmosphere.
Yeah. And it's just so obvious what the number one team is in Toronto right now. Obviously, coming off the World Series run just made everyone fall in love with the team. But then simultaneously, you have the Leafs, who are just a complete dumpster fire, and then our pesky Raps, who are just throwing the season away at the end here. Good Jays start to the season. Obviously, yesterday was such a kick in the dick and really made you question why you love the sport. That was just an atrocious game. Aside from Gosman and Scherzer, just a really pathetic series. And at the game you were at, Ponce goes down likely for the year. Hopefully he gets some better news and maybe he can return late. But at this point in time, I'm not really expecting anything from him the rest of the way. Awesome sweep against Oakland, or the A's, to start the year. I thought the pregame ceremony on Game 1 was awesome. Just sort of recognizing the 50th year of the Jays and all the history and just putting a bow on the 2025 season. It's over now. It was a great time. It was fun to celebrate it. Fuck you to the people who are like, oh, they didn't win, they shouldn't celebrate. The AL pennant's cool. It's not like we're talking shit. We won everything. We obviously had one of the most, I'd argue the most heartbreaking World Series loss of all time. But the pennant is just it's a cool thing, man. It's a thing you could be proud of. Obviously, the ultimate thing wasn't achieved, but I thought they did a really good job of celebrating the team, celebrating the history, and just turning the page and okay, that was great, and now it's done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to reference it anymore. It's a new season, and hopefully they can have a strong weekend against the shitty White Sox because the Dodgers are in town on Monday, dude. So hopefully get the bats going. The bats have looked pretty bad so far, but again, it's a 6-game sample. Not really going to freak out. But yeah, it's great to have baseball back. It should be another fun year. And it's sort of been good with the Raptors claps to just be looking at the boys in blue instead. But you and I, we have to keep doing this, man, because we're game 70, whatever. We've made it this far. We got to keep going and see this thing to the end. So, do you have any other Jays takes you want to get off your chest quick here before we go into this, or you get to talk some Raptors ball?
I just couldn't agree more about the pennant situation. I think anyone who's upset or disgruntled about it just isn't familiar with the history of baseball. There's obviously that famous call Giants won the pennant. Baseball's the hardest.
I was about to say there are famous calls.
Yeah,
exactly, man. Great point.
not only that, but also the AL East is notoriously the hardest division in baseball. So for us not to only come out of the division by the skin of our teeth with the same record as the Yankees, but then to also, put our money where our mouth is and pull out the AL in fashionable, in a very great exciting way. Yeah, man, there's nothing to dwell on about last season. Of course, we wanted the chip. We didn't get it. We made improvements this year. We're a better team, and we're gonna celebrate what we accomplished last year and take the momentum into this year. So, no disagreements there with you.
Yeah, and in terms of the banners, because they redid all the banners, I don't know if you were able to get a view of them on Monday. A+ for axing the wild card banners and just putting it on one single one with the years.
Yeah.
Like that's all you need. I don't need fucking a full wild card banner.
Yeah.
But then why was our AL pennant like ALCS champs? Just AL champs, man, or AL pennant, like something. It could have just been simpler. Still, I'll meet you at like a solid B- for the whole thing because you fixed the wild card banner situation. But would have preferred just AL champs, not a big thing. I do like that the World Series ones are huge now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a series name. That's probably maybe
No, it 100% is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get like the World Series ones say World Series champs.
Yeah.
But instead of like baseball champs, so like I do get that, but I don't know. It's not a big thing. I'm excited to see if I get to a game this year. Still not really sure my summer plans, but to see even some of like the new Hall of Excellence little display area in right field. I don't know if you checked that out. And some of I usually sit in the 200 level, so I know that was the area they did a lot of changes to this past offseason. So I'm excited to see what's new in and around there as well. So yeah,
we sat there, and it seems like some of the vendors are also renovated as well. It's a little more pizzazzy and whatnot. So yeah, no, definitely worth it.
All right, should we get into this?
Suppose there's no time like the present.
Oh God. Okay. We'll start like we always do. I know me and Dan want to get into some more broad stroke sort of narratives and future plans, but we will recap the games. And honestly, before the last two, vibes were decently good, coming off that historic Orlando run. But like we always do, we'll start chronologically. And we have 5 games to sort of touch on, starting March 21st versus the Clippers. Clippers spanked us 119-94. It was the last game of the West Coast road trip. Went 2-3 overall, so not great. Where do you want to sort of start on with the Clips game?
It was pretty much done after the first quarter, to be honest with you, Sam. We never had any fight. We actually never won a quarter in this game. We tied the second, and it was just a horrible. I think the Clippers started like 8-0 or something like that. It was like 8 or 10 nothing, and it was just awful. Like it was honestly just awful. It was an awful game to watch. Ingram was so passive down the stretch. We never really had a run where we're kind of fighting back into it. Scotty was not hunting at all for the basket. I know we talked a little bit off cam about Point Scotty kind of looming, and he does have these spurts of games where he's dropping 20 plus and it looks great, and then all of a sudden there's like no desire to score the bucket. I thought with quickly out, Shed was gonna be a little bit more aggressive to the basket, and he took about 9 shots, but I think he got teed up in this one, right? Or I can't remember.
I believe so.
Yeah, or maybe in the Pelicans. Yeah, I don't remember, but he didn't have his best game at all. Jacoby was mediocre. He didn't get much playing time. Yeah, man, this was a really tough watch because we never were really in the game. From the jump, we were never in the game. So knowing you don't have the facilities to get back into the game and you're already down 10-0, it's like, what the fuck's the point? Garland also cooked us this game, dude. He was hitting everything.
That was one of my notes. Yeah.
Trying to think what else. Brooke also somehow had a good game, which pissed me off. This guy, I think he took in the first quarter
7 stocks.
7 stocks, but I think in the first quarter he took 2 threes that were maybe at least a foot.
100%. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what the fuck? Put a body on this guy, dude. I just remember watching it so sloppy with the basketball. There was no general. No one knew what the fuck was going on. Yeah,
Yeah,
it sucks because
yeah,
we lose to them without Kawhi, with Harden, and then we lose to them with Kawhi. So,
yeah.
anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely looked like a team who was ready to get home. Which, for a team who's won nothing, it seems pretty pathetic that we have that attitude where we can be like, "Yeah, we've went 2-2 on the West road trip. Let's like whatever with this one's like whatever." Um, Shed started for IQ, like you said, minimal impact on the game. 8 points. The Clips, like you said, shot the lights out in the first quarter. We were down 14 after one. I thought the offense was badly missing Quick's sort of shooting. When you start with Shed, RJ, Bi, Scotty, Jakob, who the fuck is the outside shooter there? I know Bi's shooting it at a high clip, but like he needs like time to sort of get into his 3-point shot. So when it's that slow and congested, no shit, you're gonna have. I mean, 94 points, dude. That's got to be one of our lowest of the year. I just thought the lack of 3-point shooting was so glaring in this one. CMB, his next thing. I love CMB. You know that. I think he's been awesome. His next thing is really defending without fouling, and that's like not an easy thing, but that's sort of like a rookie thing. He's got the strength. He doesn't need to get up in the air as much. I thought he had a couple really ticky tack fouls that did not need to happen. Like you said, I love this one. Really made me like. I love the Garland trade for the Clips. Yes, he's injury prone. If he can stay healthy, I was super impressed by him. His playmaking, his shot creation. He made some dirty shots on us, dude.
Yeah,
Like dribble package, shake. Like he was really, really. I know he only put up 24, but he was 9 of 16, 5 of 9 from three. He's like 10 years younger than Harden. Like I totally love that trade for LA. So really impressed by him. And then the last sort of note I had, there's this one play, Shed legitimately wide open, right in the paint for a layup, kicks it out for a three, and I was just like, hey, like this team is too selfless to a fault. I want to say the second half. But Scotty has the same issue, dude. They only RJ, and this is what we're gonna talk about with like future team building. Only RJ, it seems to me, like really drives to the paint, wanting to be selfish and like put the fucking ball in the basket. You have too many of these guys who should take the wide open shot and kick out for the, and it's just, it really drives me crazy. And I get Shed. He wants to play make. Scotty wants to play make. And you see tonight, like Scotty, 9, 8, and 12, so like a fun line, but nowhere near good enough. Like 9 points is nowhere near good enough for Scotty Barnes. And it's just, RJ was terrible, 5 and 19 for 12 points. BI, we're going to get in. I've got some BI takes today, but he, 8 of 18, just like 18 points. But the Clips just outclass us, man. Kawhi, 27 on 9 and 19. He was awesome. Mathurin was great off the bench, getting to the line 11 times. It's just, it's a team, and we have a better record than the Clips, and they've had their struggles this year, but we looked outclassed. So it's tough. Yeah, this was sort of, I won't say the start of sort of what we're going to get into, because the next two games did go well, but this is just pretty, like, it's like we got blown out, man. We were run off the floor, and it seemed like we had no really interest in competing in the last game of the road trip here.
Just on the note of RJ and BI, the stat sheet of the box score never truly displays how bad they were that game. Because if you look at like
RJ, it did this one, yeah.
Game, but if you actually look at his season stats, he's almost shooting 50% from the field, 34%, which is like slightly under league average from three. But he was 0 for 7 and 3 from this one, and BI too, like 8 for 18. It's not horrible. Anybody have 18 points? Like it's not horrible. But it's just, he was watching the game, you're like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, with so many possessions. No, seriously, like, long contested twos. We're not running a real offense. It's literally like, who's going to be the one. It's not even ISO ball, dude. It's like, like, RJ, is he going to slash this drive, or is BI going to take a contested two? And Scotty's just going to moss and maybe go for the offensive rebound. Like, it was so frustrating to watch them, because as soon as any little momentum we had, it's just halted by like one of these stupid low IQ plays. And there's a theme in this, like you said, the next two games went our way. That Magic game was just fantastic. Like we made history in that game, which is great. But my only quarrel is we actually are a low IQ team. We literally are a low IQ team. And like BI
What
is
makes
not
you
a
say that?
smart. We don't have a lot of smart players. Like when you look at like OKC, they have a high basketball IQ. A lot of the players in that, and I know I'm comparing them to one of the best teams of all time, but they have a lot of players have a high basketball IQ, i.e., like making the right pass, not taking a stupid contested jumper. I'm sorry, like I think Scotty is one of our smarter guys, and he's probably not top 25 in terms of IQ in the league. I don't think Bi has a high IQ in basketball. RJ sure as hell does not have a high IQ in basketball. Too many sloppy turnovers, too many times where they're trying to do something and it's forced. It doesn't make any fucking sense. There's just I just we're not patient. We're not disciplined. We act impulsively with a lot of the shots that we take. It's a theme, man. Especially in that Kings game when I watched it, it's like insane. We don't make a lot of right decisions, Sam. We really don't. I think Shed's actually a high
So
IQ guy, and Scotty is like
yeah,
remotely high IQ. Other than that, there's not a guy I could point to and be like, this is the guy that I expect to make the right decision 9 times out of 10.
I would push back a bit on the IQ point, especially in the Ingram situation. I guarantee you, Darko and the coaching staff has told him, I don't care if it's contested, like take your shot. So I get what you're saying with like why is that our offense like these contested twos? I'm 99% guaranteeing you that's what Darko and the staff
There's
wants
no way
is
Darko's
Bi
gonna
to
take
cook in the mid
contested
range.
twos
Yes, dude.
when we're coached. There's no
Yes,
way, man. I don't know the
dude,
stat,
I
and I
guarantee
love to
it.
see it. I love to see it. That has killed us all year when we're like in the hunt where we've been
Darko,
4 or 5.
they have
That's
enabled
brain dead.
him,
If that's the case, that is brain dead because that is
dude.
costing us games. It's happened so
They
many
have
times where
enabled
we make
him.
long twos.
They have enabled him to do whatever he wants in the mid range, dude. Like they don't they've been on record saying, oh, anytime Bi takes a two, it's a high percentage look. Dude, that's our end of game offense all the time when it's close. It's every time. There's not a mid range shot Bi can take that they don't like. I promise you that.
Yeah, that's
They love
dumb.
it.
That's totally
I
bizarre.
don't disagree, dude. We
You
have
watch the
talked
game, you
about.
see how many times it costed us down the stretch when we need to score buckets, and that's our fucking go-to offense. Is a contested long two from Bi. He's shooting like 45% on them. That's not a good shot. It's just not a good shot.
I mean, we've talked about the late game stuff so many times with that. So yeah, in terms of overall game stats for this one, Clips shot 51%, Raps were 42% from the field. Clips light out from three, 46% to our 35%. They had 13 more free throws than us, so pretty pathetic there, and sort of goes back to my point of like just didn't really seem to want to compete this game. And also, Dan, we were 4 of 11 from the line for 36%. So like
Yeah.
these guys were just on the flight home, like from the jump. They were like, I don't care. This is pathetic. We did have 14 more points in the paint than them, but if you're raining down from three, that's pretty much like that's fine. So yeah, just a overall shit kicking, a team that had no interest competing in this one. I don't really have much else. We're gonna get into the negatives after we do the next two games, but this was definitely just an embarrassing one and a team that felt like they could coast for some reason when they've been jockeying for position for the last month. So yeah, anything else you have on this one, or you get to move on?
No, let's move on.
All right, I'm with you because there are some broad, and I have some BI takes for you that I want to get into, but I want to get through the next two games where shit went, well. Next game, Pelicans grudge match. They were in town. DeJounte Murray running from the grind, sitting out this one. Him and Trey Murph were out. Raps won 119-106 at home. Where do you want to start on this one, dude?
Point Scotty, you can take it from there, from what you texted me. If you
Yeah. So Jacoby started for IQ in this one, and I believe Bi was out too. Correct?
Yep.
No, he
this
played.
one.
He played this one. It was the Orlando one. Yeah. So Scotty really handling the ball all the time this game. I loved it. He had 23, 6, and 12 on 10 of 14 with 5 stocks. Just the absolute like A+ Scotty Barnes game. And this is where the the broadcast team started doing like, what has Detroit done with Cade Cunningham? They put the ball in his hands and trying to like put that in with Scotty too. I know in the Orlando game, Jack Armstrong was like, Scotty is your ball handler. He's your Magic Johnson. He's your Cade Cunningham. And I've been tooting that drum since like forever, since it sort of became Scotty's team of like, I want him in the Ben Simmons role when he was good and with actually a little bit of shooting. And it just, dude, he was dominant this game. He was awesome. He got Yak so many easy looks. Yak had 18-11, only missed 2 shots. Ingram, just nothing, like 5 of 13. And this is, again, what we're going to get into. I keep like waiting to get into it, and I still want to wait a bit more, but I promise we're going to get into it. Jacoby, 18 points, 4 threes, was great. RJ, 18, 7 of 14, fine there too, like good for him. And Mamu, 18 and 9 off the bench. So just an offense really humming. It is the Pels D. Take that with a grain of salt. But I just thought it looked so much smoother with Scotty at the one, handling the ball all the time. And I'd love your thoughts on what you were looking at here.
Well, my first thought was, thank fucking God we didn't make that Eves Missy trade. Oh my God, bro.
Of course, that's your first thought. That's so.
Well, no, because I
funny,
always,
dude.
when we prospect players for move, like I'm always looking how they play against us, and holy shit, Sam, he's just such a neutral, like he's just out there. He doesn't do anything. He's just there. It's just a body to fill in the court. Like he does nothing. Dude, I've been saying this for time. Jacoby is a fucking dog, and he's one of the few guys that I've actually been so impressed with in the second half of the season since he started getting more minutes. I'd love to see, like, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but when certain guys hopefully are gone in the offseason, I'd love to see him get a little bit more minutes and him grow, because he's still so young. It's only his second year this year. Him grow to become like an actual guy, because right now he's still.
I mean, I want him. I want him starting at the 2 next year, dude.
Yeah.
I want him to do that.
And I just think that's like a perfect fit if he can develop into that kind of player. So yeah, man. Like,
and the shooting's been so encourage,ing man. It's been so encouraging the second half of the year.
Downtown. Yeah, man. Like that's literally just what we need from our 2. And then we'll get. I had a lot of points about the RJ stuff, and we'll get into that later on once we're done addressing the games. But I think this one was pretty clear. Although RJ played okay, he was fine. Scotty, like you said, Scotty was fantastic in terms of just distributing the ball. It's just that if Scotty's, I don't know if he can do this every game. You know what I mean? Like,
I think he can. Like, why wouldn't he be able to?
Because Sam, there's some games where he just checks out. He does not demand the ball.
I agree.
And that's what I mean. Like, it's not about the actual, like, him having the capability of doing it. He sure as hell does. It's just if he wants to do it or not. And I hate when he doesn't. And you'll see in the next couple of games that we'll look at. Other than the Orlando one, he looked checked out. He looked a little bit checked out. CMB was better in this one in terms of the fouling, as you mentioned in the last one, although it did come back.
He also got so I had a note on CMB just saying it was great having him back, and I just love all the little things he does, except for the fouling stuff, which I just mentioned. And then he also promptly, as soon as I wrote that, he was done for the game. I think it was like back spasms, but he's been battling that thumb the whole year too. So yeah, CMB. I have a CMB question for you about the asset later on, but I've loved that pick, man. I get that thumb healthy, come back next year, and I just love his player type, and I think I've been super impressed with him, especially looking. So we picked at 9. Obviously, the first 5 guys, Ace has come on, so I'll include him too. Been studs. Like those guys, they're definitely top 5.
I'm not giving it to Ace just yet.
Oh, okay. I know you're the biggest Utah hater that I know. But like the guys in front, Trey Johnson, Fears, and Dioman, I am so good with CMB over those guys. Like I love that pick, and you could just see the potential of like what a prime CMB could be. Just this tank who's awesome defensively. The shooting, the offense, I thought started well when he debuted and has really sort of hit neutral. Finishing around the rim, he's good, but any sort of shooting touch seems to have completely just dissipated. Maybe the thumb issue is also part of that, and that's, could be valid. But love CMB. If he can work on the fouling stuff and not become Jaren Jackson, who's taken like 9 years to not learn that, that'd be great. like point Scotty we talked about. Just I love that player, and like hopefully we lean more into that. I'm just gonna start saying next year instead of the rest of the year because I honestly, dude, I think this year's done with the loss last night. The last 2 points I have, Jesus Christ, Zion ran over Pirtle for a bucket, was just dominating in the paint. He was 9 of 13. I know Zion just completely has off the court bullshit that he's been battling with for his entire NBA tenure, but for some reason, I do sort of hope he can stay healthy. I know a lot of it's been on him, but dude, he was just such a star coming out of college, and that market is so down bad NBA wise. I'd say them and Memphis are, and even Memphis when they're good, like Memphis's fans show up, but the New Orleans market I'd say is by far and away the worst NBA one in terms of like how successful the team is with the fan base. So I do hope he gets some of that shine back. I know he's really dumb stuff off the court, but he's a very talented player, man, and he has been healthy this year, so props to him. And just like I said, dude, my last point is prediction: Jacoby will be starting next year, and I hope that's the case, man, because he's a low usage. If the shot can stay consistent from outside, man, it's just exactly what you need from the two. He's our point of attack defender. We're going to get into what we hope the roster sort of looks like next year, but I am so happy if Jacoby Walter starting at the 2, with ideally for me, Scotty at the 1 when the 2026-2027 season kicks off. Do you have anything else from this one you want to touch on, or anything I said, or?
Just to your point about CMB, I agree. I love that pick at 9. I don't think we could have done better. Everyone, I know Raptors Twitter, you mentioned maybe in a couple pods ago, like when Derek Queen was popping a little bit, it's like, oh, should we have taken this?
Oh my god!
I don't at all think that Derek would have fit or what we're trying to do, and CMB knows his role with Toronto. And honestly, I think he's done such a good job fitting that role. Like he hasn't tried to do too much. He's actually a lot more. I wish he was a little bit more aggressive at times. Offensively, definitely not defensively, and honestly, dude, his 3-ball's not that bad. I think it's like at league average right now, like 35%. You can use a little bit more finesse and English around the rim for sure. That's gonna come as time goes on. That's one of those things that you see rookies usually struggle with. But honestly, man, as far as like a fully formed player development, I could see him being a better shooting and more likable Draymond. Just with like his build and
Draymond's he's the easy archetype. Obviously that's like A plus. Yeah, that's like an A plus outcome, but he is the, easy archetype to look for with like these strong undersized centers, right? That's definitely
I also think like CMB is far more athletic than Draymond ever was in his prime.
I don't know, dude. I think that's kind of underselling Draymond. Like prime Draymond was a beast.
No, I'm not gonna. Dude, Draymond's IQ of the game is like astronomical. He's probably up there for all time IQ in the whole game. But in terms of like capability of defense, like I think CMB is faster. I think he could jump higher, and I think he's probably more agile. And like of course, like you can't teach like just IQ, like that you just have it or you don't sort of thing. It's a natural feel for the game. I think Draymond is one of those guys that's just born with it. And you saw like even Michigan State when he was in college, he had that. But yeah, of course, best case scenario, he is like our floor general defensively, and him and Scotty are kind of two-manning that. But yeah, man, like he's, aside from the injuries, which is a little bit worrisome, but nothing severe or significant, I think we hit a home run on the CMB pick for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a high floor pick for sure. I loved your Derek Queen point about the fit. Dude, he's not playing any minutes anymore for the Pels. You know why? Because him and Zion don't fit. You know why? Because Zion operates only within the arc. Who else operates only within the arc primarily? Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes on offense. So if you add another guy who needs to be in the paint to like run the show, I know CMB, like I said, I think the thumb has really affected the shooting. But CMB is also not like an offensive engine like the Derek Queen sort of archetype is, and coming out of college, what his sort of like Alperen Şengün type of like, this is the player I'm going to be. So I totally agree. I don't think Queen would have fit at all with this team, especially with Pirtle still here. In terms of overall game stats for this one, Raps shot 52%. That Pelicans D is something. DeAndre Jordan played like 18 minutes. That's all I really need to say. Pel shot 42%. Raps shot 36% from three. Pel's 25. Free throws were about even. And then Raps just, dominated in pretty much every aspect of the game. Plus 15 in assists, plus 10 in boards. Just a team, and it was good to get back at them. I wish DeJounte played and we beat his ass too. You know how much I love Trey Murph, so him being out also probably helped. But it's a solid win. It's a bad team, so again, there's not much to be taken away, but solid, and it sort of got the ball rolling of like, okay, if we beat Orlando, like we're back sort of in it, and we're gonna keep going. But is there anything else you want to mention from this Pels one?
Last thing, super cheeky, low-key ad possibly in the offseason. I'm not too familiar with this contract or what like his future with this team's looking like, but Sadiq Bey.
Can I guess who it is? Okay,
yeah, sorry.
All good.
Who are you gonna say? Herb?
Yeah, you're good. I literally was just gonna. I don't know who I would have guessed. I just pulled up the minutes log, but
yeah, sorry. No, just seeing him snipe.
Yeah, just a big wing.
Yeah, exactly, man. And like he can shoot. That's the biggest thing, is that he can actually shoot the three ball, and he's career wise, he's always been able to shoot. And that's just something we fucking need, like, desperately.
I'm so tired of hearing Devlin say, "Oh, and just an off shooting night for the Raps." Every fucking game's an off shooting night for the Raps from three. Like, if they have a good shooting night, then it's surprising.
No, if they have a good shooting night, then it's an off shooting night because our fucking regular.
Yeah, dude. Great point. You have anything else from this one, or are you good to go?
No, let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. The history books. Orlando was in town, which, we highlighted a couple weeks ago as like a big, important matchup. Orlando has completely shit the bed since then. Dude, we beat them by 52 points. We went on a 31-0 run, Dan. It was history. It was the biggest run in like the play-by-play era or whatever. Like, yeah, whatever. Just insane. My prediction: Jamal Mosley, the coach of Orlando, will be fired. They could have done it now and they would have been justified, like Denver did with like Malone last year. Would have totally been fine with that. He'll be gone as soon as the season ends. I know Orlando can't get a healthy starting five for like a long time. Every time Powell is in, Franz is out, and vice versa. But 31-0, and this is a team a game that should have mattered to them, and they lose by 52 points. Just embarrassing. And everyone played except Franz. Like, you can't be like the whole team was out. Nope, everyone played but Franz. It was just like, it was laughable. Orlando's offense during the run, dude, turnover, like every possession turnover, or just some shitty Paolo shot that has like, he has two guys on him, he wants a little ticky-tack foul brick, like just so bad. Shed and Jacoby started, no BI in this one. And Point Scotty again, just absolutely cooked. But I know I sort of touched on the overall big points for this one, but where do you sort of want to dive into here as well?
Well, just on the 31-0 run, while we're talking about it, it was so funny because I don't remember the exact amount, but I think Javon Carter took like 4 shots in between that whole time, and they were just all flat breaks. I don't know if like Mosley's like, Javon, like you're our guy today. Like, it kind of made me laugh because I rewatched it a couple times, and I was like not counting them mentally, but I was like, just man, he took a lot of fucking shots.
There was one Wendell. Yeah. There was one Wendell Carter 3-point attempt during the run that I just started laughing as soon as he shot it. I'm like, when I have given up 20-something points in a row, Wendell Carter is not taking a 3-pointer. Like, that's just not happening. But yeah, keep going.
Dude, Paolo was awful. He was awful.
Dog shit. Yeah.
It was kind of just a non-factor. Like, I know he kind of could shoot the 3 coming into the league, and it seems like he's regressed.
0 for 5 this game.
Oh yeah, 0 for like honestly leave 2 feet of space when he's on the 3-point line because you want him to take that shot. It's kind of baiting Draymond a little bit, although Draymond can actually probably knock it down a bit better than Paolo.
Draymond can actually hit them when you bait him though, which is funny.
Yeah, exactly, and that's only at a spike. RJ again. RJ again, 0 for 4 from 3. I think at this point in his career, Sam, he's about 20. And he played well. No, they're not discrediting RJ's performance in this one, but at this point in his career, 34% from 3 as a 2 guard, primarily a slashing 2 guard.
It's average. A little below average.
But it's like you can rule him out for developing any further from 3-point. You know what you're getting from him.
Yeah,
he's not
that I would agree with. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll talk more about that. But is that going to cut it for us? Probably not. Anyways, I digress. Your boy again. It's so funny. I remember when we went to the trade deadline, you and I were both pushing for Goga, obviously not for a first round pick. Again, they play him 10 minutes in this one, considering how absent Wendell was. It's just
Fucking
hilarious
morons.
that Goga's, like you're gonna charge us a first round pick for a guy you're playing 10 minutes. Okay. And then during the run, I don't know. I can't remember when these guys got subbed in. AJ and Elijah were actually fucking solid, dude. Like there was one I remember AJ hit, and it was so high.
AJ was great.
It was around
4-6 from 3.
Yeah, it was fantastic, man. I don't remember when Darko subbed him in exactly, but he fit seamlessly. You know, like for a guy who doesn't get a lot of minutes, especially during like impactful times of the game, for him to come in, knock down some big shots during the run, I thought was huge. And I want quickly just your take on this. If you and I want the same players gone for next year, is AJ someone who's going to become Grady's minutes? Maybe 10, 12.
We're going to get into, yes, we are going to keep prefacing it, but we are going to get into roster sort of what we would like to see happen next year or just like ideas. But yeah, dude, I mean, AJ's going to be making no money and he's actually been hitting threes. And on this team, that's pretty much you have a rotation spot if you can hit threes at a decent clip because Grady obviously has just failed in everything. Grady actually played 23 minutes. It's like we play Grady when the game's out of reach and still try and get him a decent minutes number to try and see if there's any progression, and it never seems like there is. Scotty, 23, 5 and 15 on 9 of 14. Just, again, same thing as the Pels game. Just awesome running the point. Shed at 12 and 10, RJ 23 on 8 of 14, Mamu at 19 off the bench, Lawson 14. Like, and you know, all the starters, the most they played was 28 minutes. This game was over. I'd also like to say, I love putting that 31-0 run on Desmond Bane because that motherfucker talks so much shit, and being able to kick his ass was really nice. Because he was on the floor for a lot of that run. They checked him back in, and the run still kept going for like a 4 or 5 minutes. So that was awesome. Any other points you sort of want to mention for this one? It was just a shit kicking, man. Like Orlando, they didn't get off the plane. It was awful by them.
There was one thing I think we talked about off cam. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, BI not playing in this one. Do you think that had anything to do with the 31-0 run? Do you think it was just
the pace? I mean, the pace. Well, the run itself was so on Orlando's offense. If you watch and I know you have watched the run, turnover, like every possession turnover. It felt like. So that was just hilariously awesome to watch and just see how pathetic that was. But dude, the pace was 100% faster. Like that's not a hot take at all. When Scotty's running it, it's just a quicker, faster pace.
Exactly, dude, and that's the thing with BI. Everything is so half court. It's actually even less than half court. It's literally fucking inside the 3-point line. That's it. Like he's not the guy who's gonna run down in transition and get you a fast break bucket. Like I guarantee you, Sam, if he was playing that game, we probably don't get the 31-0 run because he's going to like slow the pace down and then he's going to miss a shot and then Orlando's going to like I don't think you can have that kind of run with BI playing. Just the way his pace of game is.
Yeah.
And it's not saying it's a bad thing. It just doesn't fit what we're trying to do. We're actually a fairly young team and we want to run. IQ is a runner. RJ is low-key a runner. Everyone runs on this team except for fucking BI and Jakob, but Jakob does other things.
I will say though, how many times have we been the fun, like, pace team in the last, like, 5 years? And then the half-court offense comes in the playoffs, and it's just shit the bed. Like, we have nothing. So I do get what you're saying, but it's also, like, you can't just discredit a half-court offense guy because that's going to happen in the playoffs. You're not going to play this shit Orlando team. You're going to play, like, good teams who don't turn the ball over every possession. And the half court, like that's when the game slows down and that's what really matters. So I get your point. You want to play fast, but you also can't just completely discredit his contributions when it gets to like half court for sure.
Yeah, no, and fair point. I guess come playoff time, of course, like everything is much more slower and more tempoed, a lot more technical. It's like a chess match essentially in the playoffs. But Bi has not proven anything in the playoffs. I know you weren't vouching for Bi particularly, just half court guys in general. Like OKC in regular season, it feels like they run a lot more. They have younger legs. They're able to stretch the pace a little bit. But in come playoff time, Shea's taking that ball at half court and they're running their shit. Like they're not running.
Well, Shea's still doing that. Shea's still doing that in the regular season.
But if they get the board, they're like fucking Dort's flanking, Queso's flanking. Like they're running. AJ, whoever. They are just so really like they can attack you in so many different ways from how they want to go about their offense.
Shea, I mean, also like Ingram is not on the same planet as Shea offensively.
No,
like it's not even close.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. I get what you're saying, but just like how Shea's so automatic in a half court situation. But you're total. I wasn't advocating specifically for Bi, just the half court like offensive player stuff in general.
Yeah.
Let me read the game stats, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I don't like how Bi's play style is so lazy. It's just a lazy play. Anyways, that's it.
All right, these might be some of the funniest game stats of the year. Raps 57% from the field, Orlando 38. So awful, but awesome, but like whatever. Raps 45% from 3, Orlando 24%. So that's awesome too. Free throws about the same. Raps plus 21 in assists. Raps plus 16 in steals. Raps plus 17 in turnovers. Orlando had 28 turnovers to our 11. Points in the paint. 82 points in the paint for the Raps, 38 for Orlando. Fast break points, 39 for the Raps, 7 for Orlando. Points off turnovers, 37 from the Raps, 11 for Orlando. Largest lead, 56 to Orlando 7. I can't even believe they led by 7 in this game. It must have been the first 5 minutes. Just absolutely hilarious stuff. But then we're feeling good after this game, and then you realize, that was a lot more bad Orlando than it was good Toronto, if we're being honest. Do you have anything else in this, on this one, or you want to sort of get into the meat and potatoes of this week?
I'm surprised you didn't read out this stat. Check Mamu's plus minus.
Okay. Let me guess. If we won by 52, I'm going to go plus 41. Let me see what it is. Or you can just tell me if you have it.
I got it.
47. Plus 47.
That's got to be a record.
I undersold it.
That's got to be a record.
No. It's up there, but I doubt it's record-breaking.
47, man.
Crazy. I undersold them. I did 41.
Yeah. And that was still like...
That's insane. Dan, in 21 minutes, too.
Yeah.
So that means... every minute... Yeah. Every minute, just automatic plus 2 in the score for Mamu. More than that, too, which is really funny. You have anything else on this one?
No, let's start the...
Okay. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into the main sort of conversations we'd like to have today, and we're getting into it 43 minutes in, but it's time. Raps at the Pistons on March 31st. Pistons win 127-116. Honestly, it wasn't that close. I just watched this game this morning. This was the starters checked out with 20, down 20, and then the bench made a 12-0 run to make it closer. The Pistons were in OKC the night before in a game that went to OT. The Raps were off. The Pistons had flight trouble. They didn't get back to Detroit until 4 a.m. and they still kicked our ass. So where do you want to start in this one?
Well, Scotty, coming off the 2 high point games from Scotty, 5 points, man, in this one, and I think a sore was on him most of the time. I want to say
a sore was on Bi. I think a lot. Him and Holland did a lot on Ingram.
I don't even. So what? Duran in the paint? I don't even remember really what they threw it. They threw at us in this one. Anyways, irrelevant. Scotty just did not want to. I mean, he took 8 shots. He was 2 for 8. He didn't shoot well, but he just didn't want to fucking score, dude. And then again on the line, 1 for 4. And honestly, Scotty's a good free throw shooter, so this was just a brutal one. He's about like an 83% on the year, which isn't too bad. I think he still had like 10 or 12 dimes, which is like at this point when he's not scoring, he's got to do one of the two things. And this is the same thing, dude. BI in the stat sheet, it doesn't look that bad, but when you actually watch the game, you're like, okay,
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, he really wasn't good.
It was bad.
Yeah, and yeah, man, I don't know. Like, not a great game from really anyone. I think Mamu was the only guy that I think played well, and then AJ Law in crunch time kind of made it look. Yeah, CMB was okay. Yeah.
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 Yeah. RJ also, I'd say like 24 points to 7 and 12. He kept us in it for as long as he could. Like you said, Scotty, that's unacceptable. Like, I get you have the 12 assists, you have the 5 stocks. It's gotta be more aggression. It's been an issue during his career, dude. We've talked about it a lot of times. Ingram has the 22 points, but literally the only other stat he had was 1 board, so just not really impacting the game at all. CMB was great, 14 and 10 off the bench with 3 stocks. Sandra, like you said, 16. Lawson got hot late, which is sort of what I mentioned in the run. That sort of made it look closer than it was. Jalen Duren has a fan in me. Holy shit, he ate us. A lot of it, though, was like defensive breakdowns.
Yeah.
Like just wide open under the rim, which was really frustrating, and the coaches were getting pissed. Dennis Jenkins, who I picked up for the fantasy finals, who's Cade's replacement, awesome. He's been awesome without Cade. Continued this one, 21, 5 and 5 for him on only 9 shots, so just a really efficient player. He got to the line 9 times, was 9 and 9. Duncan got hot from 3, 19 points, but yeah, dude, it's pretty pathetic. And our first field goal. Guess when it was in the first quarter. Our first field goal made.
7-minute mark.
4 minutes and 50 seconds was our first field goal.
That's disgusting.
Guess when was the first field goal missed for Detroit in the third quarter? They started 12 of 12.
Got to be 4 minutes.
3 minutes left in the third. They missed 3.
Nice.
So just like those are Detroit's got a really good defense. I know they were missing Isaiah Stewart, but like Holland and Asar get up into you. Duran's pretty good at protecting the rim as well. So like the free throw sort of kept us in it early, and then they went nuclear in the third quarter and really put the game away. And Duran, like I said, 31 and 9 on 12 of 13 shooting and 7 of 7 from the line. Just a beast, dude. Pirtle had no answer. They're just really impressive. And the last thing I'll say, Alvin, he was in the game for Armstrong. His positivity really drives me crazy, dude. I much prefer Jack Armstrong, who like calls them out when they're playing like shit. Alvin being like, the fourth quarter starts, he's like, well, you know this team, they ain't gonna stop. They're gonna make a run. And it's like, no, they're fucking not. Like, what has this team showed us that? Yeah. What has this team showed us this year that they're gonna make a run when they're down? Not like barely anything, dude. So Alvin, like, I get it. You gotta puff up the boys, but like Jack Armstrong doesn't do that. He says it's unacceptable, and I really, really much prefer that to Alvin's sort of like pom poms and cheerleading from the side. Like, I get it's sort of tough, but Armstrong doesn't do it in a disrespectful way. He just calls them out when they're playing like ass, which I really like. Yeah, dude. So again, like no Cade, no Isaiah Stewart. I won't say that's like a game you got to have. The Pistons actually have been pretty good without Cade. I think they said the record was like 8-4. Just a solid team, bro. They're gonna be a nice, fun team to watch in the playoffs. I think I'd have them going to the conference finals, especially if New York and Boston are 2-3. I think they beat whoever comes out of the 4-5 matchup. But yeah, man. And honestly, Dan, look how they're. So we drafted Scotty when they drafted Cade. Look where they are right now, and look where we are. And they were the laughingstock 2 years ago with Troy Weaver. They had the 28-game losing streak, and now look where they are, and look where we are with Scotty. And we're about to get into these overarching themes and points, but like that's a huge sort of like wow when you look at where they were 2 years ago and what's happened since.
I mean, granted, they have Cade is a better player. Cade's a guy you can actually
he's like 100%. Cade's a beast, man. I love Cade.
bro, he should be an All NBA guard, first team. He should be if like the injury didn't happen.
It's the 65 games shit, yeah. But I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. Um, and then of course like when you're bad for, like they got the Asor pick pretty high. Duran I think was 12th, but they made a cheeky trade with I forgot who, maybe Charlotte or someone. He wasn't.
But
he
I
wasn't
mean,
originally
but dude.
Well, I know they just did things right.
But Jaden Ivey just lost his mind this week, and they already moved off of him. Ron Holland is like a fun player, but he's not like some game wrecker. He's a good defensive player. He's a mean motherfucker, but like he's not some game wrecker that like you're like, oh, what a draft pick by Detroit, you know?
No, you're right. Like some of the guys didn't pan out. I think Ron's still young enough to where he could. I actually like Ron Holland's game.
I like Ron. I'm just saying, like, he's not like this, oh, well, the draft made them a super team. Like, he's a nice player, but he's not some crazy,
No, definitely not. And
I don't know when Duran got drafted, but he's been a beast, too, this year.
He was 12th or 3rd, like 11th. I think he was...
Yeah, like a lottery pick, but not a high one.
No, not at all. But Detroit seeked him out and got him. Like, it wasn't like Detroit had the pick. They wanted him. Like, they went out of their way to grab him because they liked him. And
like then, my point is like I get what you're saying that they had high picks and stuff, but like one Jaden Ivey gone and probably out of the league. Two Ron Holland, nice player, but at 5 overall, you'd probably want something a little bit better. Cade, they got he was 5. They got the generational player, which is step 1. But they also use him, like the ball's in his hands every time. The ball's not really in Scotty's hands. Scotty is not the offensive player Cade is. I'm not saying that. But you just look at how Detroit's built around Cade, dude. And it's just glaring in a matchup like this how bad they were 2 years ago, and now they're this, and it looks like we have just stalled in the middle. And it's just, it's pretty sad and pretty worrisome for the Scotty Barnes future in Toronto. With like that's what I was thinking when I was watching this morning.
Yeah. Well, and as much as and I was going to ask you this too, I'm assuming Detroit must have known Jaden wasn't fully there during the season in his head, and they got off him before they knew he was going to do something stupid like what he did. And I think that just shows like how much a franchise has grown, just getting off a guy like that and not waiting till. Imagine he does that while he's on Detroit now, and in like their first place, Kate's out. Like that would be so detrimental to that team. But now that he does it on, that's something for him too. Like Herter's not a great player. But dude, like we laughed when they got Herter, but like, look what Duncan, Rob, and Herter did against us. They hit a few. Like that's all you need. I would love a guy like Herter on the Raptors, man. We need a guy.
They went 7 of 12 from 3.
Exactly. Like that's
7 of 12 from 3. Yeah.
We laughed when they signed Duncan in the offseason. We laughed and the whole Malik Beasley shit happened. Same thing with the Herter trade. Like they just know what they need, and around Cade, it's shooting, and they got shooting because they already have guys like Asor, Beef Stew, Ron Holland who can defend. It's just a perfect storm around Cade. Like you said, they did such a good job building around him, and we have not done any of that with Scotty. We put a guy who's a slasher.
100%.
Like we're beating a dead horse. With this, like you said, like you think you summed it up perfectly. Just like how poorly our team is structured around our guy, and like you said, like how well they've done theirs around theirs. But we also like them getting Tobias. It was at the time it didn't really make a lot of sense, and now that move. It's kind of like
that's fine.
No, but like I think he was the older head, the respectable older head for a bunch of young guys.
Yeah,
in that
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Grow. Like it kind of reminded me of when Houston got Dylan Brooks, and everyone's kind of like, what the fuck?
I thought you were gonna say Fred, but I mean that was the same offseason, so
yeah, more or less, yeah. But like it's just like you have a guy who has been around the league. He's been in situations like Tobias in Philly. Dylan Brooks in Memphis, where they've made the playoffs, they've gone deep playoff runs. They know how to win, and they know how to carry themselves as NBA players. And I think doing that with young guys really goes a long way. And we haven't really had a guy like that. Like, and I'm not saying that that's why Detroit's so good. It's just one of those things that they kept in mind when they were building this for the future. And I've been such a fan of every move they made, and that honestly that Jaden Ivey move included. I think at the time you and I were like, well, that's it, like just Kevin Herter. Now everything makes so much more sense. I think Detroit wanted to get ahead of it, which they did, and they did it perfectly because they still got somewhat of return on the guy.
Yeah. The rumors are it's when he like broke his leg that he just got depressed, and that's when he lost his mind. I don't want to really get into that. It's like it's sad what's happening. to him. It's actually insane. But yeah, he's not on our team, luckily, so we don't really have to dive into that. In terms of game stats for this one, Pistons shot 60% from the field. And that, I mean, when Durant goes 12 or 13 or whatever that may, and when you start the third quarter 12 or 12, that's what's going to happen. Raps were 48%. Detroit shot 57% from three, dude. Raps were 35%. Free throws were even, except we didn't shoot them well. We were 20 of 31. In terms of other noticeable stats, honestly, nothing too crazy. It was a wire-to-wire win for Detroit. We never led. And they just outshot us, man. And we had a lot of defensive breakdowns, and they made us capitalize. And they're the 1 seed for a reason. They're a really respectable team. I like the team a lot. I would be happy if they were the ones out of the East. So yeah, do you have anything big picture left for this one, or should we get into the worst loss of the season?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Last game, and then me and Dan are going to do, I know we're already long, but we're going to do a couple other things for sort of the future. Last night, like I sort of mentioned right at the start, somehow the Sacramento Kings came into town with a record of 19-57 and beat the Raps 123-115. Candidly, I do still have the second half to watch of this game. I did just watch Precious Achiuwa go for 18 and 15 in the first half, so that was fun. But I know you were texting me, you were watching it live, just saying how pathetic it was. So you please take the floor on this one to start, and I'll chip in when I can.
Oh my god, dude! I actually don't know where to start, Sam, on this one, because it was just bad from the jump. Like, we literally lost every quarter except for the fourth, where we got 1 point ahead of them. And we clawed back. We were within, I think, one at one point in time, or we might have even been tied. I don't remember in the fourth quarter. And we just kept doing such stupid things. And this ties back to my point about IQ. Like, not like Emmanuel quickly, but the IQ of the team.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and it's just like, I just don't understand why we make decisions the way that we do. Like, dude, RJ, God bless his heart. And, like, again, look, the stat sheet's not that bad. 8 for 19, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He was so dumb in the fourth quarter, bro. 5 turnovers. He was so fucking dumb, and I couldn't stand to watch it because I don't know if you saw this or you haven't watched the second half yet. He took a 3. We needed just a bucket. I think it was like a minute 32 minutes left. We just got back. We kept going back and forth. We were down by 11 at one point, and like 8 minutes left in the fourth. And then we came back and got it down to 2. Then it was 7, and then I think we tied them. Then we kept fucking fouling too. They kept getting so many fucking free throws. We actually ended up getting more, but like just in down crunch time, just stupid fouls. RJ, for whatever fucking reason, there's about 15 seconds left on the shot clock. He takes a contested 3, and that's when I knew the game was out of our hands. That's when I knew we were not going to win this one. Because I'm just like, if we're taking shots like that with it's a minute 30 left, but it just shows that we just don't care to run a play. So even if we get a stop on this next possession, what's going to happen when we get the ball back? We're not going to run a fucking play. We're going to keep chucking up stupid shit. Dude, Shed was a dog in this one, by the way. He was fantastic in the second half.
I saw a tweet about that. He was plus 17 in a game we lost by 8. So he was like the only one who showed up for sure.
Scotty did fucking nothing in the fourth, man. He was so bad. He also took a stupid 3 down the stretch, which I don't know why he would do that. That's so uncharacteristic of Scotty to do. Our best players in this one were far by Shed, Mamu, and CMB. Again, the CMB fouling thing, dude. He was like the guy on defense that was like stopping Precious. He had a really good possessions against DeMar. And then it's just like, I think he took a stupid foul on who was it? I think it was Malik Monk. And he completely got baited. He had 5 fouls. We had to yank him. He didn't end up coming back into the game. But losing him on defense, they just started running fucking ISOs on whoever the fuck, because no one else can guard anyone on this team. And it was just, dude, it was so I was so frustrated watching it. And there was a point in time too, Sam, where like we were down by 5, and I think the team looked like, and there's just like a minute left. The team was just looked like they gave up. And then this was the one, and this isn't on Shed. This just shows how like checked out we were to this game. There was a minute, like maybe 45 seconds left. We're down by 6, or I don't remember. I think they missed a free throw and went to 6. We take 20 seconds in a possession to try and get a shot. Motherfucker, we have a minute left in the game. We're down by 6. Why are you taking 20 seconds? It's just, that's what I mean, Sam. They're just dumb. It's just dumb. Like, there's so many decisions that are just dumb. And RJ, fuck, man, you turn the ball over so goddamn fucking much. This was such a dude. Like, that Clippers game was so frustrating for me. This one was far by just such a pathetic watch, and it honestly made me feel depressed that, like, because this solidified play-in for us now. We're not going to be able to claw back against Philly. They have a tiebreaker. They have a better division record than us, despite all the fucking injuries they've had the whole year. Atlanta passed us. We literally got so lucky against them and the Cavs the whole year. We can't this is the one that, look, this is the game that we go out in the playoffs on, is the fucking Sacramento. At least make it against Miami. Like, I just know we're not going to get back in the playoffs, man. Just pathetic.
Yeah, no, there's no reason to be confident that we will. There's no reason to be confident we will at all.
Sorry, I was just wrong.
No, I love it, dude. This was so pathetic. Yeah, no BI. Quick is still out. I do have just a couple fun points before I jump in. Devin Carter has, I think, the worst hair situation going on in the league right now. I couldn't stop watching his bald spot, like, during the broadcast, because he has the long hair, but just at the top, it's just this, like, patch of, like, skin. So he needs to do the Derek White and just let it go, in my opinion.
Yeah, I sympathize with him, but
yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
And just another thing we've mentioned AJ. It is just so pathetic that AJ Lawson has jumped Grady Dick in the rotation in a must-win game. It is so pathetic, dude. It's wow. It's just something else that this has happened. The one time we draft a shooting specialist and we get this. It's unbelievable, man. It's really, really tough. And this is how teams either stay stuck in the middle or never get out of the bottom when they miss on lottery picks. And it's pretty. Grady will have to have an unreal year next year for him to not be a miss for me, and I wouldn't be surprised if we try and move off him in the summer.
Oh, please, I don't want to give him another year. Let's just get off this fucking guy.
Yeah. We'll do quick stats, then we'll go into bigger stuff. Shed 16-7, like you said, only one who showed up. 5-9, plus 17. RJ 25-6 didn't shoot it well. 8-19. You said he had bad turnovers. I'll probably see that for myself in a bit. Scotty 14-10 double-double, but 5-14. Darko came out and said he has to be more aggressive. It's just the same stuff, man. It's the same stuff. Like CMB 20 off the bench, 7-9, awesome. Sandro 17 on 7-10, awesome. Pirtle 18 on 6 of 8, fine. But I mean, Precious Achiuwa 28-19. His whole thing is when he plays his former teams, he likes to go off. So if he keeps moving around the league, he'll become the MVP because every other team will be his former team. DeMar somehow had 28 points. I love giving up 28 points to 2026 DeMar DeRozan. Monk had 18 off there. I don't even want to keep going into like the individual stats for the game because I kind of just want to get through this and then go into broader stuff. Raps, somehow, Dan, we outshot them from the field by like 10%. We were 55 from the field. They were 46. We shot the three better from them as well, 39% to their 36. We even had more free throws, Dan, 32-29, except we missed 10 of them. So I don't know what's going on with our free throw shooting this week, but it's just atrocious. We got out-rebounded by 13, including a 19-5 advantage for Sac on the offensive boards. I know in the first half, Achiuwa was just eating every ball in sight. He had, like I said, 18 and 15. We had more assists than them. We had more points in the paint. We had more fast break points, but they just ate on second chance points, dude. They were plus 19 second chance points. We couldn't close possessions. And our big center that we just extended just got outplayed by Precious Achiuwa. So just pathetic. It feels like time of death on the season. This felt like okay, you could have came out of the year with a 6-game first round exit and felt okay. Like, okay, we put up a fight against Cleveland. We put up a fight against whoever. Obviously we weren't favored, but last year was shit, so we did take a step. Now it's like, oh great, Dan, we might become the 7th or the 8th seed and get swept by Boston. Like, that's okay, nice. I honestly think if we're in the play-in, I'd rather just lose out and try and get a better pick. The play-in, it's just the most revolting spot to be in the NBA. It is just like what Masai said it, like playing for what, and then he went back on that the next year when again we were in the play-in and tried to spin it like, oh, it was a progress thing. No, it's fucking not. It is the worst place to, unless you're like a Charlotte team who's been asked forever and finally on the upswing. It is just so pathetic to be there. And yeah, like, do you have anything else on this, or should we get into like some broader conversations for a bit?
I'm down for it. Just on your Grady point, we can't fault the franchise too much on it because the only other guys that were hits past Grady, Jaime, if you want to consider that a hit, Keontae George is the big one. Again, I wasn't high on Keontae coming out of the draft.
And this was his first year of being good.
Good, like, and he's not going to get that kind of minutes with us. Maybe he would have because we were so bad. Honestly, him and Scotty could have been interesting. Fuck. Brandon Pods, who we both don't really like. But
Ew,
we gotta give
I hate Pods. Yeah,
I hate Pods too, but he's fine. Like he is serviceable.
He's gross, bro.
Yeah, and then Bryce Sensabaugh.
I'm not even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Just the cheeky second
one?
rounder that everyone passed up on was Tumani.
AJ Mitch.
No,
Oh.
Tumani Kamara at 52, which I believe. So he was actually drafted by Phoenix, but I believe he was in the Nurkic trade with Portland, if I remember correctly.
He was in the Lillard trade, yeah. So
No, it
that
was
4-team trade, yeah. Yeah, but it was like a 4-team trade. Like that's how he got to Portland.
Yeah.
The Ayton and all that stuff. Yeah.
Wow, it's a fucking mess. Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's just so pathetic, and it literally I had a thought like, oh my god, like me and Dan are really we followed along with this team, and it's just going out on such a pathetic note. But okay, we gone through the games. Let's get into some broader things. Let's start with Darko. Where are you at with Darko, and are you still like, no, it's the first year we've been trying to win. We did improve for the number of our games won. We'll probably improve by like 10 games. You still good with Darko to like give him another year and to like, or do you still have confidence in him?
Yeah, I definitely want to give. Don't get me wrong. After from the success of the beginning of the year, I have fallen off a little bit on Darko with certain things. Just noticing down the stretch, and if what you said, which I believe is true, like the BI mid-range shit, that has to change like big time. You cannot like. I understand you want to ride your guy and give him confidence, but that's just beyond me. Having that type of mentality down the stretch. Yeah, he's earned another year, Sam. I think he still exceeded expectations. To be honest, if we get to 50 wins. 45 wins. I think that he's done a fine enough job to earn himself a minimum of another year, man. Like, we look at our talent levels. We don't have what the other East teams have, so we definitely did do okay still, despite probably not making the actual playoffs. I think that he needs to talk like with the front office and actually address issues of, one, RJ is not a fit. It's just point blank period. He's just not a fit.
So wait, pause.
Yeah.
Pause, because this is where I was going. So yeah, I'm with you on Darko. Like, I do have some worries. Like, this Kings game to me is such a red flag just for the overall organization. I literally was thinking like a Kyle Lowry team would never have lost this game. You know, like he is a gritty mother. He will pull out a gritty ass win, and him leading a team will not lose to Sacramento at this stage of the year.
Team actively
I'm with you. Like, yeah, no, so this win is gonna completely eliminate them from getting a bottom 3 record, which is what they want. So just unbelievable. But yeah, Dark. Like we can sell and like sell it as like, well, we got 10 more wins than last year. So I'm with you. He's not on thin ice for me, but I'm sort of being like, okay, this. Like, we gotta show. I'm with you. The roster's flawed, but just like this is such an embarrassing loss where it really puts everything into question for me. Sort of just like the 31-0 Orlando thing we talked about with Mosley. Like, such an embarrassing loss, and maybe I'm overacting a bit. But Darko, it's not like he's been a slam dunk like A+ year either. Like, he's had his issues, but I am with you. We'll at least one more year. It's part 2. Who are the Raptors? And I have 5. That you for sure want to keep for next year. I only have 5.
Okay. Just off the dome. Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
I want to see if you match what I say.
Okay. So it's obviously Scotty.
1.
Mamu, if we can re-sign him, I think he needs to fucking stay.
2.
Jacoby.
Correct. 2. 3.
Shed.
4.
CMB.
5. That was it for me. I had 5 like locks to be back.
Yeah, those are total locks for me. Like, and it doesn't nothing past that. The guys that I am like leaning towards, like I want him to stay, but wouldn't be so torn if they do end up leaving if we can get a better guy. IQ is the first on that list. I think he's about
That was that was the only one on my list of
Right.
being like, I'm fine if you still stay, but if there's a deal out there, I'm good to move off. He was
Yeah,
the only one.
yeah.
The other guys I want off. That's the
100%.
distinction.
100%. And honestly, while we're on this note, like, because he had no minutes the whole year other than what he's getting now, like Elijah Martin, if Jacoby's gonna start, I'm fine with him taking more minutes next year too. I'd love to just I like in-house guys. I don't like going out grabbing a free agent and doing like. Although Mamu was such a home run, he's just a great locker room guy. You can tell he's a good team guy. He needs to stay, man. Like we need him for next year. Everyone else.
Sorry, dude. I more so meant like the main guys, like not him and AJ
No,
Boston,
that's
who's
what I was
on the
saying. I know
team
he wasn't-
regardless.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
those 5
Yeah.
for sure. I'm with you. And then quickly is like the first fringe.
For me, yeah. So Quick, good either way. He's shown enough for me. His shooting seems so vital to the team. Whatever. RJ, 100% has to go.
Yeah.
I'm at the point, Dan, where I want Ingram gone. It's just too much of a sample where it's not working with him and Scotty. We don't ever go into the plus minus stuff, but I know for a fact they aren't good when it's him and Scotty. When it's just Scotty, it's a lot better. I'm pretty sure he's the biggest net negative for the Raps in terms of on-off numbers. They're like -6 per 100 when he's on. It's enough sample for me. Will they be able to find a taker with BI's extension? I don't know. He's been an all-star. He's had a good year. He's played a lot. But the fit is just, I'm out on the fit now. It's been enough. Dude, we have had, I loved your point about Philly being injured. We have had great health luck this year.
Yeah,
and we still are a mid-ass team. So what happens next year when Scotty does something and he's out for 25 games? Like, the health luck's been awesome, and you're still this like scuffling mid-team, like whatever. And then Yak, obviously we want gone. That's more of a pipe dream one to like we'd have to get off, like we'd have to attach
be honest,
stuff.
dude, I'm actually more okay with Yak staying than BI and RJ. If I'm being entirely honest with you. If he's doing what he's doing right now,
I don't know.
I can live with that more.
RJ's expiring though, dude. Like RJ, that money's gone.
Man, but we need to do something with that. Like we need to make the right decision because if we do put that into a contract that's going to be long term, it needs to be the right one.
And here's also where I was going. Okay, BI next year making 40 mil. RJ 29.5 mil. IQ 32.5. Yak 19.5. That comes out to 123 million. So that's a ton of money to play around with. If you add Grady, which we obviously would get out, like we have no reason to want him back, that's up to 130 mil. You have the contracts to do stuff. I think it has to be two significant ass moves. This is going to be, we've talked about it, but like Bobby, piss or get off the pot this summer. It either needs to be we're buying in and we're reshuffling, but we're sending out picks to improve, or it's tear down. Because who wants to be the 8th seed again? No one. So it's either you commit to Scotty and you fucking roll the dice on the Giannis trade. You either do that and also add Trey Murphy, or you say, you know what, we're not comfortable with the pit. Like we're not even going to give this a shot. This was Masai's team. Now it's my team. I want to do it this way, and now everyone's gone. Because being in the middle is just the absolute worst place to be, and there's no scenario with the health luck we've had that we're running back a significantly amount of the same players. Anything happens that's not like an 8 to 10 seed. There's just no way for me.
Yeah, I think those are great. That's a great idea. And then let me bounce this off you. Are BI and RJ going to be packaged? I know it doesn't really make a lot of sense because you're giving an expired.
So that would be 70 mil.
But if you're if we're gonna take back someone that's 70 million in long-term money, but it actually is legit, like what we fucking need. For the other team, it's like, okay, we're getting off half of this, and then BI's. It was only a 3-year deal, so he's only has 2 more years after we trade him, which isn't that bad.
Okay.
In reality.
Would you? obviously it depends on the pick situation. Would you include CMB in a Giannis trade? Because I can't lie, Dan, this last week I've really thought about Giannis as a Raptor. Because
Yeah.
it's sort of getting cool of like, he's injury prone, like he's getting old. I've sort of taken the opposite side of like, well, if that means his price is coming down like a touch, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'd,
It's
I'd rather try that than this again, to be honest.
Yeah. No, it is very funny you mentioned that because I was thinking about that quite a bit this past week as well. Just kind of going through the team, seeing it. Of course, Giannis has always
Yeah.
been floated around Toronto just because of his relationship with Masai,
Mhm.
how ethnic Toronto is, and all these things. Um, I, I, I can't like if it's him and Scotty and nothing and like guys, it's not gonna work. If we need to get the player, we need to get the intel first before we do that trade. I.e. Trey Murphy, like you said, we need an actual fucking legit sniper. We need 3-point shooting. That is the
What
biggest,
if
we do that?
I agree? I
we need
totally
3-point
agree.
shooting.
So what if, and this is like obviously pipe dream Raptor stuff. What I don't know the exact Giannis and Miles Turner numbers, but what if it's like Bi RJ Yak for Miles Giannis, whatever works. The pick capital, like, okay, let's take out Miles and Yak just to make it simpler. If it's, would you do 3 picks in CMB for Giannis?
And then just filler, like with the guys we don't want.
Yeah, like yeah. I would try and do 2 in CMB because to me CMB is still like a first round asset. So
Like I said, if we're doing that, I would need Miles because that's the perfect 5 to pair with Giannis. So if they have that, that's fantastic. We're huge then between him
and
Giannis.
Scotty, to be honest.
Huge. And then if they bite on that, yeah, 100%, I'm doing CMB to get Miles and Giannis here, and then it's gonna cost us 3 picks, and we're getting off like shit contracts. Yeah, I'm 100% doing that. I'm 100% doing that. And then, but that's like I said, that's only contingent if we could like it doesn't have to be Trey because that's a tough get. He's in his prime. Although the Pelicans are dumb enough to probably bite. If we can just get a true like. I have a feeling if we do that, Quick's not going to be in the deal, so he's probably going to have to be our 1, which is a fine. We can make that work. Honestly, we're so big. Quick running around as the 1 is kind of like this weird. I think it'll trip teams out, but we would need legitimate shooting around that group if we can do something like that.
Yeah.
If CMB tipping the scales
yeah.
enough for Milwaukee on top of 3 picks when we're going to be good for the next X amount of years if we do the
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. There's been all this talk lately of like, do you even trade for Giannis at this point? Because he's getting old and he's getting injured.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like this. But see, this is what happens every year. Come this time of year, where teams who think they should have been better aren't. It'll be teams that fall into the play-in, like us. It'll be teams that lose in the first round, and then they talk themselves into the Giannis's to like, well, fuck, like let's just try and win in the next 2-3 years while he'll still be healthy and relatively in his prime, you know. Yeah, honestly, this week I've really just been thinking, okay, trade 1 Giannis, trade 2 Trey Murphy and Scotty, and then just go. Obviously, that's like a pipe dream, but honestly, dude, but Bobby has to be thinking in these big fucking moves for this summer.
We can't
because we're not even close.
Honestly, no, we're not even remotely close. But honestly, if he does nothing this summer, that will he needs to go. You need to do something. You got to do something. You got to get
It
up
has
one
to
of
be.
those.
It has to be a direction. It has to be a direction, man. It has to be a direction.
If you overpay a little bit, I'm okay with it. Just do something that shows that you know what you're doing for the future. You can't just stay in this
area
because, like, mind you, Indiana next year better. Charlotte next year better. Washington next year better. Chicago bless their heart. I have no idea what the fuck's going on there. They could be better. We don't know.
Still worse.
They could.
Still bad.
Depending on where their pick situation ends up. Another thing I want to float to, and I don't know what the fuck. I think Brooklyn's again gonna tank next year. They just don't have the. They're just not good. Like they just don't. They won't be good for a long fucking time. Especially because none of the 5 picks that they had this year are gonna be all NBA. None. 0.
Crazy.
They're not gonna be all NBA rookie team. It's fucked.
Or even all rookie.
That's what I mean. They're not gonna be all rookie team.
Yeah.
And MPJ is probably wanting to compete. Like, which name's bigger, BI, MPJ? Because there's something there. I'd much rather have MPJ than BI. Like, I know for us that's a win. You know,
I know MPJ is a great fit. I know he's a great fit. I just don't want him because he's an idiot. Like he's so stupid.
dumb.
But
But if he can
yeah,
just keep that off court shit off court, I'm whatever. Like, just play basketball for us, and then you can do your thing. Just don't associate with Toronto
yeah.
while you're doing it. I think and
Okay.
in reality here, really quick too. Let me just while we're talking about this, because you know when you and I fucking we love this shit. What other teams would be selling other than Milwaukee, obviously trying to get something, and possibly New Orleans, although I don't even know if they're gonna get off Trey now.
I think I think the Knicks could easily, if they don't have a good playoffs. I think like
You think
Mikal
they're
Bridges
gonna
would make a lot of sense on our team. Yeah, he would make
They
a
don't
lot of
have
sense.
picks. They don't have their picks.
Exactly. We'd be getting Mikal.
Yeah, but
It's
what,
not
we're
perfect,
giving
dude. Like I don't know what the trade. I don't know what the trade would be. I don't know what I'm just saying. Like there will be teams who lose in the first round that don't think they should have, and guys become available. Is all the point I'm trying to make. Houston, if they flame out, which they're going to, like that'll be
Yeah,
interesting. Um,
yeah, fair.
yeah, man. I like what there. What trust me, in the next month when half these teams are gone, we'll have more teams that you can talk yourself into. Like, could this guy actually be available? Like, I didn't think he was gonna be a month ago, but now I wouldn't be. Like, dude, I know I sent it to you. Paolo had that quote, like, "Oh, I'd love to play with someone like Scotty Barnes." I don't really want Paolo. We've sort of
Oh,
just
I
went through how shit he's been. But like Franz could make some sense. It's a health risk, but like that would make some sense for us for like a little prove it trade with them.
Yeah.
It's just, like names come out, man. Like obviously in this league you need like a top 10 player, which is why the Giannis thing makes a lot of sense for us. But yeah, man, it's not a good spot, and this is such a big summer for Bobby, and it's got to be. I'm fine if you've given up. Like I prefer not to. I love Scotty. I'd love to actually put a roster that's so conducive to him, like Detroit has with Cade. But enough of this being in the middle shit, dude. I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. To get swept by Boston will just be the cherry on top, Dan. It'll be the cherry on top of this season. Will be that series.
You know what? And I'm thinking about this a little bit more logically with like what is actually practical that Bobby could do. If he can just get off RJ and get a return, because addition by subtraction, we've seen it before with the Jays and the Leafs when they get rid of a guy that's like doing too much and RJ again just doesn't fit. If we can get a pick because it's an expiring contract or a young player that will grow with the team, that to me that's enough to buy Bobby one more year, because it is hard to get rid of BI after 1 year, dude. A lot of teams are not going to bite on that, and BI's not a guy. So
But, like,
when he's only expiring,
why would we sell RJ for like stuff down the road? Unless you're
Because
just
we're
tearing
stockpiling.
stuff down.
No, we're not tearing it because RJ isn't like it's addition by subtraction. We get better by getting rid of him because now Jacoby's starting and he's actually shooting and he's doing less.
I
So
don't
it's
like
RJ
that.
actually
I don't
having
like that.
You just said he wanted Jacoby to start.
No, I do. I'm saying I don't like addition by subtraction with I do not think he's been that
No, we're
bad
not-
where we would all of a sudden get better with Jacoby
No,
starting.
But I'm saying
And no
what would we
RJ.
get back if we get 2 picks, like obviously maybe one unprotected isn't like we'll have to see what the offer is. But if we stockpile picks for a future trade involving BI in the offseason where we could actually in with much more confidence make that big Giannis or like insert disgruntled superstar like trade, that would be the ideal for me. Is like doing like everything calculated, not just like flurrying out everything all at once. I just don't think the BI move is going to happen this summer as much as I would love to have. If it does, that's a miracle, and if it's like worth it, that's great.
I hope
But-
it does. I'm out on the fit. I'm done with the fit. I've seen enough.
Yeah, but the RJ thing needs to happen. It needs to happen, and we need to get somewhat of a return that fits our team. For sure.
Like we've said, we've talked about it. Bobby, this summer, it's it, dude. Like for this core, it's pick a direction. We've been straddling the fence. Let's add BI. It's only Bruce Brown and one in the indie pick, which obviously is going to turn out to be like a top 3 pick. No one would have known that at the time. But it's time to either go in or get out, because this is not it. All right. We're really long here. I actually have to leave really soon, so we got to preview a bit. Raptors, 42 and 34. We're now 7th in the East, tied with Philly. We're 16th in offense, 7th in defense, 12th in net rating. IQ is without a timetable for his foot issue. We play in Memphis on Friday, which seemed like it would be a win until this Kings game. Memphis is 21st in offense, 24th in defense, 22nd in net, trying to lose. I didn't even write out who's injured for them because it's like everyone. So, we'll be playing G.G. Jackson and Javon Small and whichever Spencer brothers there. I can't remember if it's Cam or Pat. But, it should be a game we win. But after this Kings game, nothing is certain anymore. Then we're in Boston for our regular scheduled shit kicking on Sunday. They're second in offense, fourth in D, fourth in offense. Tatum, just of course, Boston has Tatum come back from Achilles looking amazing. Vucevic is out. It won't matter. And then March 7th, we have the first of the Heat games that, 2 weeks ago we circled like those will be big games. And now it's like, oh, Dan, it's whoever's going to be the 8th seed to play in the first play-in game. Like, oh, whoop-de-fucking-do. They're 40 and 37. They're 13th in offense, 11th in defense, 13th in net. Norm Powell is questionable. I'm going to go win one of two. We win in Memphis, get shit kicked in Boston, and lose to Miami on March 7th. Or April 7th, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah. I think we win Memphis. Boston's going to be
If we lose Memphis, we might have to stop the pod. Like, if we lose back-to-back Kings Memphis, we might have to...
Until the season's over, we won't do another pod. So, seriously, let's make an agreement on that right now. There's only 5 games left, and then we're going to get bounced in the first play anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. It's like a week and a half off. We earned a break if we lose in Memphis, dude. It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I want to say we actually get past Miami the first game, and then the second one.
I just don't care. Like, now we're in the play-in. I don't care anymore. Like, I wanted the 5 or 6 seed. So if we get back and steal that, then I'll be like wanting it again. But the play-in is just hell, and I hate that we're in it. Do you have anything else? We've talked a lot. I'm really happy we sort of vented and went through sort of what we would like to see happen. But do you have anything else, broad strokes, or do you want to get out of here?
No, let's get out of here.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Bit of a longer episode. Really shit times in Raptors land. It's really felt like the season sort of slipped through our fingers of like ending on a positive note yesterday. Hopefully, we're wrong, and they, if they win in Boston, that'd be crazy. But if there's nothing else, thanks everyone for the support. Go Jays, and we'll see you in about a week. But if nothing else, Dan, take us out.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you in the next one.
Over and out.